I'm continuing to import the elevation drawings that are going to help us with our exterior wall openings. So I imported, they're all just lying on the ground now except for this one that I flipped up. I'm collapsing the last of the imported layers. It came with the AutoCAD file. Move all that stuff to the default layer. And there is an elevation that I've flipped up 90 degrees on the x-axis. I'm going to do the same for these others. Adding rotational attributes. I'm just typing the value x so it makes them all vertical. I probably don't need them all, but it's just easier to, okay. So we do need to create, let's move them so that we can examine them separately. There is the one that belongs on this side of the building. There's the one that belongs on the front, I believe. Let's see, select this one and move it back this way. So that belongs on that side of the building. Okay. Let's call this north. West, east, and south will be the other side. So we're going to create layers for each of these drawings. Seems like tedious work, but elevation south. And that's actually the AutoCAD elevation south. This one is, let's see, north, that's the west elevation, so we're going to west and place that drawing there. So you can see how that works. Remember, you can see through these drawings because they're line drawings, so you have to make certain that you don't inadvertently place it in reverse. So I'm just going to take that and rotate it 90 degrees that way. And that belongs on this side of the building. This is yeah, the opposite side. And rotate. Well, we didn't assign a layer to it. Let's call that AutoCAD elevations. Rotate that . 90 degrees that way. Let's move it over to the side that it belongs. These may seem complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. You want to approximately move things in place and then place them very carefully in orthographic steps afterwards precisely where they belong. See, I'm moving either green or red axis. So, and if I turn on the elevation of the back, that's where it belongs. The other two have to be lined up. I'm going to do that and then continue with this same video. So I'm going to pause here, take a break. Okay, here I've lined up the west elevation, and it's pasted to the west side of the building. Let's turn that visibility off. I've renamed back to south. Let's turn on the north. Oh no, I've renamed back to north. Let's do the east side now. I believe that's the right side of the model, yeah. Again, moving orthographically, select the component, select an edge, which is on the floor of level 1, drag it down, blue axis, let's lock it in place and constrain it to there. Let's move it now along the green axis, hold down the shift key, constrain it to there, and now we just need to paste it to that side. So we want to align to this face. A couple ways of doing that. We could do no, you can't align view here. Let's just right now back, front. So we need to take that, right, just to remind you, front. So we go to a front view, move tool, click on any place on, oops, don't want to copy, lock the red axis in place, and then snap, constrain it to that point when you're done. So now that is on the face that it belongs. The west elevation is where it belongs. The south elevate, we still need to do the south elevation. Let's turn off the others. Is that the front? Yep. Let's move it down. That 4-inch above, right? Lock the blue axis in place, snap to there. Move across, red axis, hold the shift key, constrain it to that edge, and now to paste it to the front of the building, we need to be orthographic to this view. We could do it from here. Let's try it. I mean, this is fine. You could do this, drag, as long as you see that green axis. Hold the shift key to lock it in place. You can still snap to the edge, and that effectively gives you the same thing. I'm going to save this as the end of lesson 9, and when we start lesson 10, I will have, well, let's cut a couple more openings to show you how it's done. So, let's say I wanted to create openings for these two windows in the exterior walls on level 2. I would double click the system of exterior walls on level 2, create out rectangles around the boundaries of those windows. I'm not paying very close attention to what part of the window is trim, and that we aren't trying to land someone on the moon here, although we could be a bit more careful about that. Technically, the rough opening might not include that trim, but I'm just drawing all the way around it. So that push-pull, we want to push it to the face so it drops out, push it to the face so it drops out, and do that for all the rest of the openings in the exterior walls, and then we'll proceed to the interior.